Hello viewers, this is D. Informative History and I'm Sricharan. The words which have caught the world's attention is Afghanistan and Taliban. So in this edition, I'll be speaking about the history of Afghanistan, how did Afghanistan grow as a country and what led to certain unforgettable scenarios and what is happening now in Afghanistan. I shall explain it completely viewers, so do stay with the video and click the subscribe button and the bell icon for many other videos as such. When you see Afghanistan geographically, it shares border with India, but the point here is due to Pakistan occupied Kashmir, POK. It doesn't seem to be our neighbor. Long time ago, viewers, Afghanistan was a beautiful place. There were many visitors, and not just that, girls were allowed to go to schools, pursue studies, go to work, and also there were many tourist spots. People were free, and it was always a place where tunnels, roads, houses were being built. But a country which was so good and beautifully built had to go through difficult days, months, and years where people worried and the fear of survival was in their minds. How did this change take place? How did Taliban conquer Afghanistan? Who are these Talibans? Why did US support Afghanistan? Because they aren't even the neighboring country. There are many such questions to be answered and it is quite interesting to learn about all these viewers. In this edition, I shall tell you all these information, so continue watching it viewers. September 11th, 2001. This was a black day for Americans because there was an attack on Twin Tower where around 3,000 people lost their lives. The terror outfit Al-Qaeda, headed by Osama bin Laden, was the reason for this attack, was known within few hours. At that time, Afghanistan was controlled and governed by Taliban. Taliban gave shelter to Osama bin Laden. America asked Taliban to release him from there, but Taliban asked for proof, and the Americans understood that this was just a reason to while away their time. So America planned and just within a month targeted Afghanistan with airstrikes. They attacked the military base of Afghanistan. Why did they attack the military base? It is just to weaken the military support and the power which would make their job much easier to conquer. All Al-Qaeda base camps were also attacked. The Northern Alliance, which was the other party, supported America and other nations also joined hands. Taliban had to escape and their only way out was Pakistan. But the complete Taliban group did not move out. The alliance with America came to power in the year 2004. But Talibans were happy with what they had. They used to manufacture weapons and market it. They used to send illegal goods to many other countries. They also used to collect Taliban taxes from which they made crores of rupees. Taliban started to grow its forces and power and started pressurizing the government which was in alliance with US. There were many deaths which occurred on both sides whenever a war took place. America was successful in bringing down the Talibans but unsuccessful to stop Talibans from being there. Every time Americans used to attack Talibans, they used to get much stronger and used to grow with numbers. The Americans was of an opinion that bringing down Talibans will finish them completely and democracy will thrive to grow if Talibans were out of power. But this in the future proved to be a misconception or a miscalculation. The main challenge for them was not to black out Talibans, but at least they had to safeguard their democratic government from falling down. The whole group of NATO came down to a conclusion as to bringing back their forces from Afghanistan in the year 2014. Now what is NATO? To make it simple, at present NATO has 30 members. In 1949, there were 12 founding members of this alliance. Now coming back to our main point. After NATO taking back their forces, only America left their military forces in Afghanistan. Not the complete force, but pulled back few. Why did America let its military forces stay there? It was because those military forces of America acted like a support system to the Afghan soldiers. American soldiers used to train them and equip them. Pulling back the soldiers of NATO became a boon to Taliban. They started to control and conquer. Within 4 years, they were successful in conquering around 50% of Afghanistan. People started fearing of Taliban, and they almost controlled every part of Afghan. Judges, lawyers, journalists, and even the common people had fear of Taliban. But now our big question, the million-dollar question. Who are Talibans? Where did they come from? To know this, viewers, we need to understand the history of Afghanistan. Going back to the past, Afghanistan was not majorly under the control of Europe, but it was under the control of Iran. To understand this and to know who are Talibans and have to understand and look at the timeline of Afghan. In the year 1709 to 1738, the Hotak Empire rules Afghan. But Nadir Shah of Iran overpowered Hotak Empire and conquered Afghanistan. But after the death of Nadir Shah, there was a regional empire brought in. That was Durrani dynasty. Ahmad Shah was the first ruler of this dynasty, and after his death in the year 1772, he was succeeded by his son Timur Shah. In the year 1776, Timur Shah shifted the capital from Kandahar to Kabul, and this is the most important part of the history of Afghanistan, viewers. From 1823 to 1973, Barakzai dynasty came to power. This was the most important part of their history again. From the year 1879 to 1919, they were under the British rule. British were the protectorate. Muhammad Zahir Shah was an important person who ruled from the year 1933 to 1973. He was for the people, his government was also for the people, and he was thus called the father of the nation in Afghanistan. His life story, viewers, is interesting, and he also has a link with India. What's that link? Because his father, Muhammad Nadir Shah, was born in India. He was born in Dehradun, located in Uttarakhand, and then became the ruler in Afghanistan. Daud Khan, who was the president in Zahir Shah's rule, overthrows him, and for the first time he calls Afghan a republic and calls himself the prime minister and the chairman. So thus, he becomes the first prime minister. Around the world, things would have changed in all these years. British goes down from power, and the main powerful countries now become Soviet Union, Russia, and America. Daud Khan started supporting Russia, and from here on, the dark days of Afghanistan were on. During the Cold War between America and Russia, Afghan became the football. But after that, Mujahideen takes the charge and brings down the government which supported Soviet Union. Thus, in the next year itself, that is, in the year 1979, Soviet Union Russia attacks Afghanistan. Russia supported the communist government, whereas America, Pakistan, and China supported Mujahideen. In the year 1989, Russia backs out of the Afghan war. But before that, there were wars every day in the country. There were groups building up and growing to greater heights. This was when Taliban was born. In 1994, a group emerged from the Pashtun Mujahideen in the south that came to be known as Taliban. Taliban is the Arabic word for students. Taliban emerged to become more powerful. They promised people that they would give a good governance, and would stop corruption. They would also protect the people. People were tired of the infighting in Mujahideen and supported Taliban. In the year 1996, they started controlling Kabul, and within 2 years conquered almost the whole part of the country. Taliban started bringing their fanatics in. They brought rules as to men should leave their beards, women should wear clothes which would cover them completely, and only their eyes should be seen. TV, music, drama, movies, theatres were all closed. Death penalty had become a common instrument. Females were not allowed to go to schools, colleges, or work. Taliban started protecting the terrorists and helping the groups. And after that, as I said, viewers, the attack which led to a democratic government coming to power, but today the same democratic government is let down by America, who helped them those days. Today we have seen visuals which freeze our hearts and makes us ask ourselves about humanity and humanitarian grounds. We have seen visuals where people fall from the flight because they are holding on to the wheels. People know that they are not going to survive holding on to tires or climbing up onto the flights, but they are doing so. What does this tell us? This tells us that they want to move out from here at any cost and at cost of their lives. I wrap up this edition of D.Informative viewers. This was a small effort by my whole team. If you liked it, do subscribe and hit the bell icon so that our efforts does not go in vain. Do comment your views also, viewers, because as I always say, D.India Focus is a platform to share your thoughts, opinions and views. Thank you, viewers, for watching me. Until the next time I meet you all, signing off. Sri Charan, take care. Stay home, stay safe and stay strong. Thank you, viewers.